Check, 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 check. Hello, my name's Zane, and welcome to my channel. You might not know who I am, but that's okay, because you will. This year, I decided that I'm going to try to make it to the Pokemon World Championships for VGC. So for this year, I'm going to be documenting my journey, going through league challenges, league cups, regionals, and ICs, and give you guys a good idea of what it takes to qualify for the World Championships as a new player. Now, unfortunately, there is a little bit of bad news. This isn't exactly the greatest year for trying to qualify. For those of you who don't know, the Pokemon Company has recently changed the way that their qualification system works. It used to be that if you hit a set amount of championship points from going to events, you automatically qualify as soon as you hit the certain benchmark. But this year, it's a little bit different. This year, it's going to be based on your region. For me, North America, the way it's going to work is you have to be at a certain spot on the leaderboard to earn that invite. So for NA, it is going to be top 75. So for this year, we have to try to aim to be one of the top 75 players in the Masters division when it comes to championship points, which not exactly an easy task, but we're going to try. But the real question we want to answer is, what exactly is that going to look like? Because now that there's no real benchmark for how many points you actually need, it really is kind of more of a feeling/guessing game. So that's the question we're going to try to answer today. So this year, if you wanted to qualify, you would have had to make about 623 championship points, which is what the current 75th spot on the leaderboard is. The problem is there's a lot of variability. That does not include regional winners or IC top fours, which automatically get invites and don't contribute to that 75 player invite total. There's also the thing that a lot of people, once they hit 500 points, probably just stopped going to as many events and did not try as hard because there really was no need. But unfortunately this year, that's not going to be the case. So we can only assume that the point total needed to get your invite is going to be way higher. Not to mention ICs and regionals are going to be weighted way more heavily than they were last year, whereas locals are going to have way less of a weighting. So the goal for today is to try to get a rough estimate of what our target should be if we want to earn that invite for next year's Worlds. So let's do some calculations. There are 5 different types of events that you can compete in to earn championship points. Starting at the local level, we got league challenges and league cups. We got global challenges, which are all done online through the in-game client, through the in-game client, through the in-game client.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
There's regionals and there's ICs. Each of these have their own best finish limit, except for regionals and ICs, which share a best finish limit of 6. Winning a league challenge gets you 15 points, and it has a best finish limit of 4. That means if you win 4 league challenges, you can earn 60 points. With league cups, it's a little bit higher. It's 50 points per win, giving you a total of 200 for that best finish limit of 4. This gives you a total of up to 260 points that can be earned from your locals, which I'm assuming if you're a top 75 competitor, you're going to be trying to maximize these points. So we can just put that down as 260 points needed for locals. Global challenges are a little bit harder to say. I'm assuming someone who's in the top 75 of NA would probably be able to get at least an average of top 256 each. Again, this is kind of just a rough guess, totally out there. There's no real way to know. Of course, some people will probably do better. And doing really well in these challenges can get you a lot of extra points. I think first place is like 170. But just assuming that top 256 is a reasonable benchmark for the lower end of hitting the goal, take that, multiply that by that best finish limit of 3, you get 150 points for global challenges. Next up is regionals and ICs. Assuming the absolute worst case, people are going to try to maximize their points by going to all 3 ICs and then supplementing that with 3 of their best regional finishes. So when it comes to regionals and ICs, I think for placement, I'm going to assume they're going to go somewhere probably in the top 128 on average. This is a decent benchmark because if you take the 75 for NA, you take 75 for EU, for example, you add those together, you're already at 150. Plus there's the other regions, South America, whatever. Not everyone is going to get in the top 128, right? There's going to be people who sneak in with a top 256 at an IC, especially if you're assuming all the top competitors are going to all 3. So I think 128 is a pretty safe for ICs. Regionals, maybe not as much because there's more. So some people might get really high placements at the first 3 regionals, like top 4, top 8, top 16s, and then decide they don't have to go to any more. So there could be a lot of people with higher regional placements than the ICs, but the ICs there's only 3. With that in mind, we're just going to use that top 128 benchmark for all of them. which still gives a pretty decent amount of points. For the 3 ICs, you're looking at about 150 points each, which gets us to a total of 450 points from ICs. Then you factor in the 3 regionals with that top 128, and you're getting 80 points each times 3, 240 points. Pretty good math. So if we add up all these points, we got 260 from locals, you got your 150 from global challenges, we got 240 from regionals, 450 from ICs. You're looking at about 1100 CP to kind of clinch that spot. This could be lower or higher depending on a ton of factors, but I'm honestly leaning a little bit lower. It's very unlikely that all top 75 players from your region are going to top 128 all 3 ICs. More than likely, especially if you look at this year's results, usually the people from the region are the ones taking a majority of those top spots. So when it comes to ICs, it's likely going to be a lot lower of an average of what you can expect for those players in the top 75. On the other hand, one region could just come in, sweep all 3 ICs, and then suddenly it's going to be a lot harder for you in your region to get that invite. But I'm not really going to think about that kind of situation. More than likely, it's going to be that top 128 average is a pretty good estimate. Because of all that, I think 1100 is a pretty good number to shoot for, even though, it's not exactly going to be easy to get that many points, but at least gives us a pretty decent starting spot. And I'm honestly a little bit optimistic. I feel like that number is going to be a little bit lower. So personally, I'm going to try to shoot for just 1,000. And if we can get to 1,000, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Even if we don't guarantee an invite, I think I can call that a success. With the goal now set, it's time to start grinding. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. I really appreciate the support. And if you want to follow along for my journey, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.